Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. Let's talk some shit, man. It's been a little while. Solo episode. I haven't done this in a minute. Let's get right into it. So what's been going on, man? What's been going on is just, wanted to get some shit off my chest and talk. And basically, I was thinking recently about, I noticed that I was seeing a lot of trends in the podcast world. I noticed that I started seeing, I'm not going to break it down. If anyone watches podcasts, I'm sure you can understand what I'm telling you. But I was just seeing a lot of weird, everything was the same. Basically, everywhere I looked, it's a similar setup. It's a similar concept of show. And of course, podcasting, there's only so much you can really do. You're talking at the end of the day. It's not rocket science. Let's be real. But I was just seeing a lot of similar shit, looking shit. And I'm not judging the content, but literally just everything looked so similar to me. And it was just kind of weird. I don't know. I wasn't salty, but it just was weird to me of how I see a lot of people just blatantly chasing a trend. I see a lot of people just blatantly trying to do what they think is going to hit. And I hear this a lot, man. Let me beat the algorithm, or let me get the algorithm. And it just was weird because I'm like, who really gives a fuck? How are you going to put yourself out there based on what something that potentially is fictional is going to think? The algorithm is a weird thing. Now, that doesn't mean there's not good strategy. Good strategy there is good strategy. You have to post a lot. You got to do a lot of work. You got to be out there. That's a fact. And of course, the better it looks and the better the quality the work is, it's going to give you a better shot of, being seen by a bigger audience. I completely get that. But what I'm seeing people are building their whole brand, and I've seen it in life too. Building your whole brand around something that you don't really believe in, man. You're building your own your image on something that you think is going to get you somewhere. You think it's popping. And we've seen that since the beginning of time, man. I'm watching Mad Men right now, and that's a great theme in the show, where it's a lot of guys that are really just trying to portray an image. And that's really what I want to talk about today with a strong foundation. A strong foundation to me means it's not seen. You never invite someone to your house to go look at the foundation of your house. That's not what it is. But the foundation is what's holding everything up. And when I think about trends, and I think about things that are done just to get, a flash in the pan, or just to be noticed, or hopefully if I do this, it'll take me to that next level. I just don't believe in that sort of stuff at all, man, because I was just thinking about myself of what I'm really looking for. And when I say what I'm looking for, I don't mean just in podcasts and Versatile Vigilante. I mean in life, in real life, because I've probably said this before too. This is not my real life. This is something that I love to do and I enjoy, but I have a whole other life. And in my life and in my business and in everything I do, I really want to try my best to do things that I really believe in. I need to believe, in order for me to be happy with what I do, I have to believe in it. I can't do things that are just what's popping right now, what these trends are, even if it means I don't go as far, because that doesn't bother me. Not going as far, not getting to be the biggest, it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is doing something that I don't really believe in, that isn't really true to what I think. And that's again, going back to foundation, man, because if your foundation is built on bullshit, for lack of a better term, if your foundation to whatever you do is built on a belief that you don't really believe, built on an image, when you're portraying an image, or you just trying to make it look like it's something and it's not, eventually it's gonna collapse, and you're building your house out of straw, and eventually the wind's gonna blow that shit over. And it might get you to flash in the pan, man. It might be faster. It might be all this, but at the end of the day, you cannot replace a strong foundation with lipstick type stuff. It has to be real. And that's what I think about, man. I was thinking about it. Like, a lot of the hard work and a lot of the times when you go, if you have something that you really want to do, that you really love to do, it requires constant work. That's not negotiable. Whatever it is, whatever you pick, what it is, whatever you want to do, if you're serious about it, at least it requires constant work. It requires constant work. It requires consistency. It requires you to do a lot of things that will never be seen by anybody else. You'll never get any credit for a lot of the stuff you do, but that's what makes the foundation solid. When an opportunity arises, you're able to do it. You're able to take care of it because you've built the strong foundation. You build a strong foundation, you can now start building some levels. You can go to next step, next step, next step. If you build on just a trend, if you build on something that's a lie, eventually you're not going to be here anymore because it's not real. It's not real. Some of the people that I look at, some of the people that I find as inspirations, a name that I've brought up before is Currency. Currency is someone that he's never been the biggest rapper in the world. You can never say that Currency's had a number one album or a single or anything like that. But he's been around for so long. He's so well respected. He's always been, you can just tell, like, what he does is because he likes to do it. He believes in it. He understands that, I'm not going to be the biggest star in the world, but what I have is mine. And that's what I've realized, man. Being solid can never go out of style. Being a pro can never go out of style. Being someone that's well respected, being someone that does good business, being someone that really cares about what they're doing and wants to help others as well, that never goes out of style, man. It might not bring you the flashiest stuff. It definitely won't get you the flashiest. It definitely won't get you the most glory, but it's gonna keep you relevant. It's going to keep you strong. All the work that you've done, all the good work that you've done, it makes you stronger. That's the real reward for a lot of the shit. When you're doing things that you really believe in, you're getting stronger, man. It's something that's going to take you a long way. And I was just thinking about that a lot recently because there's so much temptation. We're always seeing, there's trending topics, TikTok trends, all this bullshit, man. There's always a new topic. There's always a new 15 minutes of fame. It's tempting to just try to be a part of that, like, let me just go do something that I think is going to be a quick hit. But it's not real. It's not real. When you're working and you're doing what you need to do and you're consistently trying to build on whatever that goal is, you're going to be doing a lot of work that no one's ever going to see, that you're never going to get credit for. But one day you're going to see that, oh shit, all that work that I did, it actually led to what we've got now. It's made this foundation stronger. So now when a real opportunity arises, I can handle it because I've been through so much already. As opposed to you're trying to take shortcuts, big opportunity comes up, you're going to fumble that, man, because you didn't build your foundation properly. You built it out of bullshit. When you build your foundation off real work, off real bricks, you're good. You can handle anything, man. You can start to level up. And it's something that I wanted to talk about because I just really believe that, man. Like, building that strong foundation, being solid, being someone that's easy to work with, being someone that's a professional, being someone that's reliable, all these things are never really talked about, but they're so important. They'll never go out of style, man. I've even seen it just in this podcast game. Meeting so many people, just being easy to work with and being responsive and being cool. And when I say cool, I just mean cool. Like, it doesn't mean too cool for school. It means, we can have a conversation. We don't have huge egos. Like, I've seen it. That brings opportunity, man. Being just chasing trends and having a huge ego, that stuff burns out. That burns out. It's not real. You're not going to be here for that long. If you're building your brand off nonsense, you're asking for trouble. If you build what you're doing brick by brick, not taking shortcuts, understanding that you're not going to get a lot of credit for the things that you do, not going to get a lot of recognition, but when that time comes, I'm ready for it. That's what some real shit is. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today, man. Like the being solid will always be valuable. Following trends, there's always going to be a next trend, man, but just being solid and being reliable and being someone that's consistent, that'll never go out of style. That's timeless. Trends are trends. Being consistent, being someone that really believes in what they're doing, that's forever, bro. You can put yourself in any time in history. If you have those traits, you'll be all right. Being consistent and being solid, like being honest, all these things, they aren't things that get you much reward in the short term. You're very rarely someone is going to come up to you and say, you're a real honest guy. I really fuck with that. But you know what? Over time, it's going to put you in the room with some good people. It's going to put you in a room with some real opportunity, because real people that are honest and solid, they are the ones that stick around. It's not the ones that just chase trends and get popping off a quick lick. It's the ones that have built, because they know how hard it is. So when they see someone else building, that's who we're going to work with. Not working with someone that's a fucking trend chaser. You know what I mean? It's all about consistency, and it's all about just being solid. And rushing and trying to build fake, it won't work, man. It just doesn't work. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today, man. It was, it's a bit of a venting session, but it's also, I'm saying this for me because it's things that I think about, and I have to remind myself of these things. But if someone watches this and they're going through something similar, maybe they're going through something where he's like, oh man, these guys are on some bullshit. What the fuck? Why are they? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. All you can do is keep going. All you can do is stay solid. If you stay solid, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. If you see a lot of people that get themselves in jams, it's when they compromise what they really believe in. It's when they do something that they don't really know they know they shouldn't have done it, and they do it anyway. You get yourself in tough situations when you are trying to portray an image. If you stick to what you really feel and believe in, you're going to be all right, man. I don't think you're going to have the most flashy, material things by doing that. You won't. You got to be okay. If you want to be solid and consistent and be long-term, I think you got to come to terms with, I'm not going to get the most flashy shit, man. I'm not going to get the most number one hits or whatever the fuck you do. But I'm going to be good, man. Everything I get is going to be real. When you build organically, when you do what you really believe in, everything that comes from that is authentic. It's earned. It can never be taken away from you. If you build your whatever, if you build based on trends, if you build on what you think is going to go viral or going to get a hit, your shit's going to get taken away from you, because there's always another trend. But if you're authentic, however far you go, you might not become the biggest, you might not become the baddest, but you're going to be you. And yeah, I'm talking about myself, but I think other people can relate to this shit too, man. When you build brick by brick, when you put the time in, when you don't take shortcuts, nothing that you achieve can ever be taken from you, man. That's really earned. You didn't take shortcuts. If you buy and pay for some bullshit and try to promote it like you did it, that stuff's going to be taken from you one day, man. But if you really went out and got yours, no one can ever take that from you, no matter what. Maybe you don't get all the glory, and maybe you're not the clout king of the world, but what you have is real, and that's bro, to me that says a lot. So everyone that's really doing that, and there are a lot of people doing that, man. Shout out to a lot of people that I've interviewed, a lot of people that I know personally. Shout out to Sip Entertainment. Shout out to the whole Straight to the Bag No Losses team. Shout out to a lot of guys in the city really working, man. These guys are really doing it, and it inspires me, and I try to be that way as well. Shout out M-Work, shout out Fatty Soprano, Aaron Martin, like shout out everyone that is really building organically and doing what they really believe in, because I love to see it, and I think that's how we're going to build a strong foundation in the city, man, and for them and for me as people too. So long story short, solid is timeless, man. Being solid is never going to go out of style. Being consistent is never going to go out of style. There's no trending topic for that, man, because you can't simulate that. That's not something that can just be filmed randomly one day. That's some shit that you got to live by. You got to consistently do it. When no one sees it, you got to continue to do it, man. And that, you know what? There's something to be said for that. I think that's some real shit, and it'll never go out of style. So I'll leave it at that. Versatile Vigilante. Keep your eyes out. Always going to be dropping some good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. Subscribe on YouTube. All of that, man. Wherever you get your podcasts, let's get it. But yeah, man, that's all I want to say. Uncle Vinny, I want to leave you at that. Free Max Big Avel, bro. You go this way, I go that way. The fucking boss Don on this whole shit. Free Max Big Avel. Let's get it.